Hello everyone. Time for another live feed, because why not? Right, I'm going to send out some invites. Now there's only so many that this thing will let me send out. So, if you don't get one, don't think I'm being a penis. Right, send out some of these. Yes, lovely. Someone's joined us. Can't see who it is because Facebook. I'm going to try and tag a couple of people. So just bear with me one moment. A couple of people that always go, I never get to see them. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Right. Back. Don't cancel the... Right, we're here. Right, so, we had some people join. Jeremy's joined us. Austin's joined us. Jamie's joined us. Lars has joined us. Dave's joined us. And more people are still joining. Wicked. Ralph's joined us. Thanks for joining. Very much appreciated to everyone that's joining. So, today, among whatever other crap we talk and whatever else happens, we're going to start to build this. 4-door hard body full dealy scale SU4C from Cross. Now, while we wait for some people to roll in, who wants to see the FR4C? Does anyone want to see it? Now, I'm going to do my little refreshy thing here so my comments show up, because Facebook's crap. There we go. Nick's joined us. How are you, Nick? How you doing? Doing good. Doing pretty good, mate. Ralph says, hi, low. Lars says, Holly. Ralph says, hello. Okay, fellas. Righto. Righto. Tom, it's been time. Hey, buddy, finally made a live feed. Wicked. Lars wants to see it. All right. Because Lars said so. Robert Thomas has joined us too. Check that out. John Davis has joined us. Thanks for joining, John. Much appreciated, mate. What do you think of that? That, it's not quite finished. It's like this close. Today, I'm going to paint the spare tyre cover, which is in the box, so I can't get it out. I'm going to paint the spare tyre cover, put the decal on that, attach that to the truck. I'm waiting on my ESC to turn up, so hopefully any day now that'll be here. Bo's joined us. Thanks for joining, Bo. What else? I need the ESC. I need a receiver. I'm waiting for that to turn up too. I've ordered a heap of receivers. They've been delayed, apparently, according to the lovely people. I got them off eBay. Yeah, so once they turn up, we're ready to go. Kind of looks like a red cat. What? What are you talking about, mate? Red cat wishes? Sorry, buddy. That looks nothing like a red cat. Looks so much better, I reckon. I mean, check that thing out, would you? John Davies, I also got the pop-up about being notified. Now, apparently you can click a button somewhere to be notified of when I go live. So that'll stop people saying, I never know when you go... That's a blue cat. This is why we like having Lars here. He makes all the jokes. There's a button you can click to be notified when I go live. So that way people can't say, oh, I never know when you go live. So yes, this beast... I love that colour. It looks a little bit brighter in this what you're seeing than what I'm seeing. But I mean, just it worked. I went into the paint shop and I thought, I need something that works with the black and the chrome. Ta-da! How many cross do I have? 7. One's yet to be built. That's what we're starting today. I've got the SG4C Demon, the FR4C Demon, the SU4C Demon, the BC8 Mammoth, the GC4 Farm Truck, the PG4, and just there's a PG4L. So you could say I like my cross trucks, and there's a pretty damn good reason for it. Last, I absolutely love that colour. For being Lexan, that is cool. The objective, last, was to try and make it look like a hard body truck. Now, if these weren't there, that's every bit of a hard body truck. Am I wrong? I mean, look at it. To look at it like this, you'd swear it was a hard body truck. It's not TCVs. But you don't know. Otherwise, there is body pins on top, of course. They're nicely hidden within our fancy little roof cage there. That whole system's actually really nice. I've been really impressed with how... Obviously, this is the first Lexan body cross that I've built. So, it was nice to build this and enjoy sort of every part of it. it'd be really easy to have a body like this and then go, oh crap, what am I supposed to do with this or that, etc. and so on. I mean, everything like the chrome strips and all that, those holes are already done for you. So you're going to have chrome strips. If you don't like chrome, paint the strips black, put them on your truck, whatever. But just everything's set out really nicely and easy to work on. I installed the light kit last night. Again, really quick and easy setup. I was really quite impressed, actually. The light kit in this is a bit more subtle. It's a smaller light kit that it's a smaller light kit than stuff like the BC8 obviously and the GC4 and the PG4s. The light kit for those is massive, wires everywhere, etc. That's kind of expected. They've got every light you'd expect to have on a real vehicle. Brandon's joined us. He's actually made it to a live video. Mate, thanks for joining. Very much appreciate it. So, I installed the light kit. Where's that wire go? What have I done? Right, I'll unplug this one. There's one wire here. That's for the two lights on my front bumper. So that's what you're looking at. You've got two little circuit boards bolted into the light housings there. Two little boards bolted in here. This plugs into your receiver that I haven't got yet. I mean, look at how tight is that? We've got 4 headlights, 2 bumper bar lights, and the tail lights in the back of the truck, and we only have just that plugs into the receiver, which is fantastic. The chassis, now I have got a LiPo sitting in at the moment, just, because that's how the chassis looks. Give you guys a bit of a sticky beak. That's so clean, very nice setup, isn't it? It's just so minimalistic. Obviously, the light kit, speaking of which, this is the light kit for the SU4C, which is a full hard body truck. That's a little bit more detailed, but at the same time, there's not much to it. It's pretty minimal. If you've dealt with the light kit for the Mammoth was crazy big. The light kit for the PG4s are pretty big too. Ralph, I use the same LiPo. I ordered these off Wish. I didn't think they'd turn up, but they did. I'm not entirely sure where they shipped it from, but I think it cost me $35 delivered for a 5200 2S. That's cheap. Right, you're going to go bananas weathering on that? No, I'm not. I'm going to do some body lines, door lines, etc. I'm going to do those. I'm going to mask off, I don't know how well you'll see it. I'm going to mask off the outer area around here. There is actually a thin line. I'm going to mask off those and satin black this window surround on the outside. I'm going to do the same for the back window. I'm not going to do one for the front window because looking at the picture on the box, etc., and the body, there's no molded line for it. So this is our chassis. Check that out. I love this. I just can't wait for my bits to turn up. Look at that chrome just glistening there. So yes, this is our chassis. Really, really impressed with this whole kit. If you wanted to, you could sit down and smash this out in a couple of hours. Easy. Easy. It was just so easy to put together. It was like, I built that thing. It took ages. The GC4 took ages. Stuff like the Camel took forever. I smashed this out in no time. I mean, I did the majority of it on a live feed. Once that live feed finished, I spent another 10 minutes and just put the inner fenders on, and it was like, oh shit, I'm nearly finished. So, quick and easy setup. Also noticed too, so your battery's mounted in the middle here. There is another option if you want your battery to sit towards the back because you've got a front mount motor and you want to move your weight around. You can simply undo this battery tray and it'll bolt up to that little spot there, that spot there, and this spot here. So you can move the whole battery tray further back. So, brilliant thinking. This is a really well thought out chassis, I think. Lovely. Rolf, I'd love to drive that in one of my little creeks I've got. Look, be awesome, I reckon. I like how they have long braces between the bolts in the upper links, like that on cross. Yeah, Steve's joined us. Thanks for joining, Steve. Look, brilliant truck, honestly. It's just such a nice, fun kit to build. I would recommend anyone build this. It doesn't matter whether you've had 30 plus RCs or this is the first kit you ever built. You can build this truck. It is that easy. I was really, like I say, I'll build a lot of trucks, and I was sort of ready for the sit-down grind, sort of deal with all the boring stuff and whatever else. And I mean, obviously you get that, but it's not, I don't know, there's no parts where you go, oh, geez, that's a bit difficult or anything like that. It's just everything goes together really bloody easily. Let's check that out. Love that. So, yes, today we're going to start building this one. Yes. Now, what I have to do, because obviously I did a live unboxing of that truck, and when I finish the live unboxing, I'll just pick up all the pieces, throw it in the box. Planetary transmission with a reduction transfer case. It's a planetary trans. It's not a reduction transfer case. It's just it's just a tiny. I'll show you when I get to it. The transfer case on this truck is, no kidding, that tall and about that wide. It is tiny, which is excellent because obviously with the one I'm going to start building now, it gives you room for the full scale interior front and back. You can fit a full sized lipo in this truck, and it's got a full interior front and back. That's a well thought out bit of kit. Just saying. Right, so let's see. Whilst I start moving stuff around in the box, everyone that's watching, comment where you're from and what time it is. I'm going to have a quick swig of my coffee before I start pulling stuff out of the box. Right, so comment where you're from, what time it is. There's the first half of our body for this SU4C, which is essentially Demon Cab. I need my book because I'm going to have to see what we're building first. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. One of the first things I'll build, I won't build all of them, we'll build one of the wheels, just so I can show you guys how easy they are to build. I built those on the live feed, the last buildy live feed, and I didn't even swear once. Not once. Steve says, hello, mate. Hello, Steve. Hello, mate. Right, there's a tyre. Chassis rails, I believe I'll need those pretty quick. Axles, we'll sit those there. There's so many parts to this truck. It's crazy. So you just got to bear with me a moment. So keep putting where you're from, etc. and so on, while I get myself organised here. This whole live feed was a bit of a rush job. You get that on the big jobs, as they say. There's the back half of our SU4C body. So this goes, if I can do it like this. Come on, fingers. Work. Work, work, work. This isn't going well. There we go. So that's our body for the SU4C. 4-door hard body. Obviously, bonnet opens. You have the Demon motor plate underneath that, and then you have a full scale interior inside, which is just bang on. I need to find, not my seats, I need to find my nuts and bolts bag. Otherwise, we can't do anything. Speaking of motor plates, that's our motor plate that we get to pretty up. Brian White's joined us. Thanks for joining, Brian. Very much appreciated. Links, don't need those yet. Rod ends, don't need those yet. Man, I've got to stop throwing stuff in here. I was talking about the spare tyre for the back of the FR4. The SU4C comes with one too. That's what it is. Now, obviously, it's not a spare tyre. It is a hardcover spare tyre holder, if that makes sense. And what you do is you either paint this body colour or you paint it like a satin black, something like that. And then Cross actually gives you some decals, stickers that you can actually put on here. How good's that? I like that. Anyhow, no. See you somewhere, fellas. So much stuff for this truck. I will need those. That's got my centre caps for the wheels. Still looks like a soap to me. What are you talking about? Oh, this. Yeah, it does look a bit like a soap. It would on the live feed too. But like if I go like this, look. You glue this. That's well stuck. That is two pieces you glue together. spare nuts and bolts. What have we got there? We've got our shock bag. We may need that. I'm not sure how much we'll build today. Nuts and bolts. Found the nuts and bolts. They, I believe, are for the wheels. This is the problem when you unbox a truck and then throw everything in the box. When you actually go to build the truck, crap's everywhere. Don't need that yet. Don't know about that. Do need this. This is all of my nuts and bolts, basically. Now, if anyone ever says to you, oh, my cross truck hasn't got enough bolts, they're the leftovers from the FR4C. Okay? Plenty of leftovers. There's a couple of drill bits in there. You don't get drill bits with it. But they're the leftovers from the truck. There's spare spacers in there, bolts of multiple different sizes, washers, little nuts, the whole deal. There's spares. So just be sure you're putting the correct bolt in the correct spot, and you should have enough bolts to build your truck. I do understand every now and then you might have an incident where someone's not quite got enough. Brian says, stickers? Look, you stick them on. Stickers. Okay. Right, so now I'm going to open up my book, which will probably say, I won't say build wheels first. I know it won't. It'll say bolt stuff to the chassis after you check your engine and your motor, etc. Dustin, I got a bag labelled gift with extra nuts and bolts. Yes, every cross kit comes with a gift bag. Now, depending on what kit it is, the Mammoth comes with a gift bag and it's got scale accessories in it. It's got spare nuts and bolts and spacers. It's got bushings. The gift bag alone was worth half the price of the truck. Right, so it's pretty similar setup to the start of the FR4 build. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to build a wheel. So I need to grab, right, here is our massively heavy, these are really heavy, massively heavy beadlock ring, the rear ring for the wheel, and the front of the wheel. Full-blown sand seed monster of a thing that is. Right, I'm going to poke my beadlock ring into my wheel. Dustin got the SP4B. Extra nuts and bolts are great, mate. Earl's joined us. Thanks for joining, Earl. Tom's working on his Mammoth. If you want to have a sticky beak at that one, mate, let me know. I'll break my back and get it down so you can have a look. If anyone wants to see any of the trucks, etc., just say the word. Today's a pretty relaxed live feed, as most of them are. What am I doing, man? I've got my tyre stuck in my beadlock ring. I'm not concentrating much. Lars says, hello, Earl. Now, for those that haven't dealt with crossframes before, there we go. They are a bit stiff, which is good. Word, says Ralph. Now, did anyone get the notification about if you click this button, you can now be notified of live feeds? Did anyone get that? I know John Davies said he got it. Right, so now I'm just gonna squishy the foam and make sure everything's nice and centered. Make sure my bead's gonna sit in the actual bead. Lovely. Right, I'm gonna pop the front of my wheel in. I love those wheels. By the way, these tyres, epic. Factory tyres, and they're brilliant. Dave's joined us. Thanks for joining, David. Jamie's with us with the 4 ribs on top of the can. Oh, yes. You did ask me that. Sorry, my bad. Once I put this wheel together, I will measure the top of the PG4 canopy and the ribs on it. Mr. Chris Leach has joined us. Thanks for joining, Mr. Leach. Last, I'm working on a big scale on myself. And right now I'm sitting waiting for the 3D printer to finish so I can continue working on the chassis. Lars, are you making your own chassis for that thing? Like, are you going to 3D print one? Right, I'm just going to go around and make sure, I know it's hard for you guys to see, make sure the bead's sitting just on the outside part of this ring here. And when I say the bead, I mean the outer. I'll take a picture of it later if you need help with that. Right, that looks about Mickey Mouse to me. For those that don't know, Mickey Mouse means spot on, good, lovely, and the rest of it. Right, now I'm going to just slip this in here. So what's everyone doing? I mean, I know a couple of guys have said they're doing stuff. Joe's joined us apparently. Joe Zuniga? Zuniga? I don't know how to pronounce that name. I probably butchered it. Right. So I'm just going to work this bead a bit here. And the reason we do this is because when we bolt this wheel together, the ring moved. When we bolt this wheel together, I don't want to go pinching anything and I don't want to have to undo it. That's the goal. Put it together once and then it's done. Now, when I built the wheels that are on the FR4, they went together really, really easily. Lovely, lovely. I think that's about spot on there. Right. Ralph's chilling on the couch. Brennan's working on his rat rod, that beastie looking machine. Right, I've got a little magnetic tray to the side here that I'm just dumping all these bolts in, because that's what we do. Right, I'm going to get the first one started. Now, before anyone even says Loctite, I will get to that. Right, next one. Get this one started. These are probably some of the easiest wheels you'll ever put together. Brian, working on a GC4. Quite interesting build. That's bloody awesome of you to do that, Brian. I'm so happy we found someone that lives so close to Lee to get his truck built, because I know when he drives that thing, he's going to love it. He's just going to love it. Right, now these are 5 bolts on the back of these. Last, I never used Loctite on wheels. Look, I don't use much. If I've got wheels with tiny little nuts and bolts, I'll always use a little bit, because those little bolts, or the little nuts, just fall off all the time. Right, so they're all started. Now I'm just going to go around and give each bolt a few turns. I know it looks like I'm doing more than I am, but some of them are taking up the slack and then I'm actually turning some. You got it close. You got it close enough. So which one was close? Zuniga? Was that the closest one? Absolutely, and he gave me the freedom to surprise him some. Uh-oh. I'm sure whatever you do, mate, it'll be tasteful. Paint it pink. Right, so, as I said, I'm just working my way around the wheel. And the reason we do it like this is so that everything goes down level. If you do up one side too much and then this bit too much, you're more likely to pop the bead somewhere. And then you'll flip the wheel over and go, oh, I've got to pull it apart. It's horrible. I need to catch up to this side a bit, I think. I do. Need to catch up here. So yes, try and do your bead locks up as level as possible. That's for your own benefit. It saves swear words and saves you having to undo wheels and redo them. Come on, hands, work. Right, just about home. And then I'll flip it over. I'm crossing our fingers. It should all be Mickey Mouse still. Brian White's building Lee's truck, the GC4 that Lee got, and Lee's injured and can't finish the build himself. And there's been a few times where Lee's been ready to just sell the truck and sort of give up on it because, you know, he's felt a bit down about it and he can't get it finished. So between Mike Jackson and myself, we did a bit of hunting. Mike was going to do it, but Lee would have had to post the truck back and forwards. Brian Potts has joined us. Thanks for joining. So I bought me another GC4. Hell yeah, dude. They're awesome trucks. Kevin's joined us. Red Hot Romeo, as he's known. Kevin's joined us. The crap that pops up on Facebook. Right. So, no swear words said. That wheel is now home and hosed. No bead pop anywhere. Lovely. push this back and forwards a couple of times just to sort of centre everything. There you go. Now, because Christ loves scale, yeah, I just remembered that's great, Mr. White. It really is. It's awesome. How did it go with yours and the wife's tractors? Yeah, they're both built. We were going to use our semi trucks in the wedding, but in the long run, it was just too much hassle. It really was. Having someone there to watch the trucks while we weren't there, that we could trust with the trucks, really hard to find. So you get your little scale hub as well that you got to paint. Now, I considered doing the one on the FR4 because that's got the same thing. I considered doing the hub's body colour, and then I decided against it. So I'll paint those today along with the spare tyre cover, etc. So that's how easy it is to build one of these wheels, right? Now, I said earlier about Loctite. This is Tamiya polycarbonate cleaner. It's not Loctite. This is Loctite. See the lid on this thing? Put a bit of Loctite there. Lovely, right? So I've got Loctite in my lid. This way it saves you picking this up all the time and then shuffling everything around. Now, we take one bolt out. Now, if you just take one bolt out, nothing will move. Also got the GC4M conversion. Nice. I do like that. Now I'm just dipping the very end of this bolt in a touch of Loctite. Just a smidge. And this bolt will go straight back in all the way to the bottom, and then it's just nip it up tight. Next one. It's that easy. I missed it. This is a single stage, and it's pretty firm, but at the same time, it's sort of just right. Like, you can leave your truck sitting on the tyres, and they're not just gonna go to crap and have big flat spots. But at the same time, you can go out wheeling, and you don't feel like they're too hard. Right, so that's 2 down. Always remember how many you've done, otherwise you'll end up pulling one out that you've already Loctited. There we go. Dip that in there. Put him back in there. So this is the easiest way to Loctite the bolts for your wheels. Build the wheel, one bolt out at a time, Loctite it, etc. This is how I do it anyway. I find it to be the easiest way. Joe, when I get home, I'll be working on my Class 1 1024 door Toyota. Maybe get some better performance out of it. What sort of performance are you looking to get, mate? If you check out allthews.rcsamics.com, you'll find enough brassy options to give you all the performance you could possibly want, I imagine. Samics makes some bloody good gear for the 10.2, 10.1, TRX4, MST trucks. You name it, they got it. Free plug for Samics there. Right, so that's one of our wheels. Done and dusted, Loctited. What do you think of that? I love these tyres. Oh, they're so good. Do you like those wheels? Originally, I wasn't huge on the idea of these being, I won't say, they're not chrome. They're more of a brushed look. And they look really quite nice. Right. Lovely. Right, so that's one of those built. I will build the rest of those later because it takes too long to build these little pieces. Right, so move my Loctite to the side, swing in my coffee, then I'm going to look at my book and start grabbing parts out that we need to start actually building the truck. Now, something I did notice, when I built the FR4, a lot of the bolts you actually use your 2.5mm hex driver. Not a 2, not a 1.5. The majority of the bolts use a 2.5mm, which is awesome. That way, less people need to stress about stripping the head out of bolts. Mike's joined us. Just so you know, Mike, all we've done so far is built the wheel. Okay, just the one. I'll build the rest later. Right, let's get to the exciting stuff. Go through all the start of these books. You've got multiple pages of what parts and part numbers, etc., which of course is handy. That way, if you break anything, you know what you need. Right. So I'm going to need my McChassis rails. I'm going to need that cross brace. I'm going to need some 1106s, some 1107s. There is about a millimetre difference between the two. Just FYI, Joey and his son are great drivers and usually plays high in comps around here. He's at the next town over. Nice. It's nice when you can jump on one of those live feeds. You're like, hey, I know that bloke. It's like when young Oscar joins. Oscar lives 20 minutes down the road. Right, so I've got those. I need my centre plate, a rear PC. I know what the rear PC is. There's one of my sliders. We need those. Check those bad boys out. Metal sliders. Need that. I need another one of those. I need that piece. So this is the issue. Like I said, when you do unboxings, not everything goes back in the bag that it was in to start with. So I need that. Got that. One of those anyway. I have to make sure I've got the correct one. I need that piece, which is going to be a part of my generic black plastic, no doubt. There's my other slider. So we're just about ready to do the first step. That's all roof. Bear with me. Nope. This could happen quite a lot today. I've no idea how long this live feed will go. Oh, I was saying to Brennan about the... Oh, he better still be here. Are you still here, Brennan? Yeah, I've got some brass knuckles, cast metal axles up front. But it's a long, heavy body that's tough to get through lines. Possibly going to bob the bed. Ah, yeah, I see. There you go, Brennan. Get a load of that. Told you it was tiny. That is bloody tiny, that is. That's a little transfer. Now, top tip, and I'll say this to everyone, and I do it for every vehicle I've got. Open this up, apply some grease, all right? Much like every other brand out there, Crosswheel put grease in here. There's just not heaps in there. So open it up, put some grease in. For those of you playing at home, that's what I use, King Crow multi-purpose grease. Crack it open, put some grease in there, shut it up. Do not pack it with grease, all right? You want it to still spin freely. You just want to feel the slightest little bit of load on it. That way, you know, the grease is touching everything and it's going to move around the gears. So check that tiny little thing out. Do the same thing with your diffs. Take the diff cover off. This is top tips for free section here. Now I did this on the start of the FR4 build. So if you want to see exactly how to do it, go and watch the start of that live feed. Undo these 4 bolts. Apply some grease in there. Do the 4 bolts back up, you're done. If you want to go Captain Anal with it, you can undo these 4 bolts, put some grease in there, undo the bolts either end of the differential, pull the differential in half, put some grease around the bearings along the axle shafts. You don't really need to do that. They're not touching anything. And then put everything back together and ta-da! Always check the shimming of your diff. If your output shaft is too far this way, it's not going to work properly. If it's too far this way, it's not going to work properly. You need a good, happy medium. Now, this diff, I've checked this on the unboxing, and I checked the front one on the unboxing. I checked both the FR4 ones, and they were perfect. And they're perfect. There is like no movement, but it's just a perfect grab. Bob's joined us. Thanks for joining, Bob. Right, now I've got to go back to looking for parts. There should be, bear with me. You can have a look at the stuff on the shelf while I'm hunting down what I did with all these bits and bobs. Ugh, I've got so much stuff here. Right, where did I put those? Not those. Frustrating. Can't find what I'm looking for. Don't know what I've done with it. And I sort of can't do much without it. Is it in there? No, it's not. I've probably got a bag here with multiple pieces. What's that? and air. Last, no talk about endpoints today. Deal. I will not tell people. There's the part I'm looking for. I'm an idiot. Ooh. Don't need that yet. Don't need that. Don't need those. Don't need that. Don't need that. The body. Don't need the body yet. I'm just making myself a little bit of room here, folks. Sorry for the delay. Don't need that. Excuse me. Don't need that. Don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Don't need that either. Links? Yeah, we can probably build some links. Drive shafts? I'll give you the hot tip on drive shafts. Right, now I think I've got everything I need. Wow, that was difficult. Right, so, book says bag Z. Bag Z is your nuts and bolts bag. I wish the book was a tiny bit more specifics, but that's fine. So we've got 1 bag, 2 bag, 3 bag, 4 bag, 5 bag. Now, 5, 6 bag. Right. This is going to be the majority because they're all... Right. Right. Now, generally, I wouldn't suggest just dumping all your nuts and bolts in one tray. Just don't do it. Stuff like these, don't just dump all those into one tray. You don't need them straight away. Stuff like these, you do not need those until you get to the body. Don't dump them in straight away. Stuff like these, you probably can. And the ones I just dumped in, I know I'm going to use those straight off the bat, so it's fine. Dump them in. Those ones, yes. So, you can always measure up the bolts to your book. So if you're not sure, Ralph, no time to jump in bed. See you later. So you're just going to sleep on the couch. Last, anyone here tries a HPI Venture? I have one laying around, and I'm thinking about using its drivetrain and axles for the new build. Anyone know any weaknesses about that? If anyone can help Lars out with his question there, that'd be epic. Right. So that's my, yep, that's that one. I know my discussion here is not helping. First thing first, I have to bolt the rear chassis brace to my truck. Second bolt hole. Right, so that in there. Now, given I'm doing this on a live feed, everything's bound to go wrong. Harley's joined us. Thanks for joining, Harley. Because when you build stuff on a live feed, stuff goes wrong, alright? So don't blame me. Don't blame the truck. Blame the fact that I'm doing it on a live feed. True story. Everyone say bye to Rolf. Rolf's going to bed because he's a granddad. Lol. Right, now with cross kits, you have to follow the lines. If you don't follow the lines, you'll cock up your build. That's about the nicest way I can put that. It's true though, you will. Right, so that one goes... Just got to look at... Pay attention, right? These chassis rails have got a lot of holes. Yeah, a lot of holes. Follow the lines in the book. It'll say, here's the bolt. There's a line that goes through here and etc. and so on. And it shows you which hole to go through. Pay attention if it goes through this first, if it goes through this on the other side, etc. and so on. The bolt I'm about to do goes through this, through the chassis and then into this. But it doesn't touch this. The bolt after the first one, which I might do first, I'll do this first. Because it goes through the through this, into this. You still following me? Is anyone awake still? Robert Maz has joined us. Thanks for joining, Robert. Right, so I'll grab up my bolt, which is the same size. That's going to go through that. Just make sure I've got that. Pretty sure that's the right way. That's going to go through the fourth hole in there. That is then going to go into that one there. Let's see if I'm correct. Right. Get that started. Now all that gibberish I was just talking makes it look like that. One bolt. So far I put 2 bolts in and it looks like I've got a truck already. Next bolt is the same size, and that goes in this one over here. So that's basically the same trick. We've got that lined up? I don't think I have. Top tip, don't tighten your bolts right up until you've got all the ones started that are going through that piece. It's been sitting on my shelf for 6 months. Why haven't you used it, Lars? I don't get the point of having a brand new truck sitting on your shelf. Right, that one's in there, and then that's the same bolts, which is that one. No, it's not. It's that one. Tom's still here putting the huge beep bumper on the Mammoth, isn't it? It's huge. I'll tell you, Tom, the best thing about that bumper is it gives you a lot of confidence. I've not lined this up correctly somewhere. What have I done? That should go through. I've not lined this up properly. I've got the wrong side, I bet you. Yes, I must have. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, so Bob, what do you reckon? Do you rate the venture? Bear with me, people. Just fixing my cock up. Yeah, Tom, like I was saying, that the bumper on the Mammoth gives you the confidence just to smash through stuff. Like, I don't know if it's a good thing that it's on there or not, because it doesn't take long before you start saying to yourself, I reckon I can just drive straight through that, or straight through this, or whatever else. I'm going all weird now. My brain's not ready to build. My mind's ready to build. I'm like, yeah, let's start building. But my brain's going, are you sure you're ready for this? I have got that plate the correct way around. Yes. Yes. That goes through that one. Yes. That all lines up there. So why wasn't that lining up? That's the one. It's because I had the wrong one. So that was my bad. Just bear with me while I line this up and get the bolt started. I don't know, Johnny, probably because it's the worst looking body I've ever seen. Yeah, but still, you've got to test it out. You got to see if your money was well spent buying the truck in the first place. Okay, we're winning now, folks. My head's starting to tick over and work. Come on, line up. Line up, C's. You have to line up. You're in the right spot. There we go. Come on, start. Got it in a trade. Right. What am I doing wrong here? I've done the classic mistake. I keep telling people, don't over-tighten your bolts. Get everything started first. And then what do? Over-tighten the first one, and then I can't get the next one in. Right, now that one should go in there. Providing I haven't over-tightened everything. Yeah, that lines up. Right, that one goes in there. Don't worry, I'll have this truck built in 6 weeks. Right, don't over-tighten it. Now, I need I need a 107, which is slightly longer than the 106. Shock horror, surprise, surprise. And this is going to go through into this piece. So obviously, when you're paying attention and you're not doing a live feed and you're doing things how you normally would when you build a truck, this all goes together pretty simple. Now, top tip. This is the plastic piece, right? You make the thread in this piece yourself. If you're trying to put your bolt in and it won't quite go in properly, I'll show you what you do. If I can find, well, there it is. I was going to put the blade back in my X-Acto blade. Because live feed. Yep, that's exactly it, man. Yeah, when I get off the live feed and I do like 10 minutes building by myself, I just smash it out. I should have shown you my K30 built in 2 years. Damn, I couldn't do that. take your X-Acto blade, put it just inside the hole. Don't push hard or anything. Just run it around a couple of circles. Right? There's a good reason we're doing this. What it does, it just opens up the mouth of the hole a bit, which lets your thread go in. Because a lot of these sorts of things, the initial hole's really tiny because it's still sort of as it was formed. What am I doing, man? Start! You're making me look like a liar. Right, that's starting? Yes. Wow. Welcome to Beginner's Week here at BCRC. Right, so that is the first step done. Now that everything's in, I'm going to tighten up the bolts. Do not forget to tighten up your bolts, otherwise your truck will be a rickety, shaky old mess. Right, now, I'm going to repeat the process on the other side, which is fine. So I need one of these. I need to go through the second hole in the back of this. This is one of the cool things too. You sort of, once you build one half of this, you go, okay, I know how this part goes. So what are we building? Lunch. I'm building a chicken sandwich. We are building the SU4C from Cross RC, the flagship edition, which means you get all the fruity bits, all the good stuff. Right, that goes in there. That's going to sit on the inside of there. That's going to go in here. If I'm correct, it should be. That's going to go, that's going to line up with that one. It should. Is it better? Or I'll cry. I have a big wah session. Right, I'm going to loosen that off a smidge. Because I kept saying this. Don't tighten everything up too much. That's going to go that hole. Yes. Right. Bear with me. That one can go for the front. I don't know if I should do the front one first, but I'll test my luck. I'll just start it. If I can do this without dropping everything. Right, so we'll just start that one. I think it's probably another cross truck. I think you're right, Bob. I love my cross trucks. It's pretty bloody good reason though. They're pretty epic bits of kit. Might have to loosen off the other side. Oh, wah. Loosen that one off. Loosen that one off. Now there's pretty fine tolerances with this stuff. Apparently it's a chicken sandwich. Oh, you blokes are funny. Is real funny, is. Because good English that. What am I doing wrong now? I've got to try and line up 3 pieces here and put a bolt through it. That's the issue I'm having. That is the issue I'm having. So what's everyone doing? How's your printing going, Lars? Have you finished? I'm not going to do the back one first. I'm going to do the back one last. It's pulling everything around too much. Right, that's started. Lawrence has joined us. Thanks for joining, Lawrence. If anyone's got any questions about this kit, other kits, special BCRC prices, etc., Rob's just joined us, so hit him up. Oh, he's been here a while, but hit him up. Robert will assist you. Start. Right. The force it with you, Johnny. How's that for butchering the British accent? I'm winning now. I'm winning, people. Right. Jamie's laying in bed fighting the sleep demon. Kick its ass. Right, one more bolt in here, and then that's this page done. That is. And the best thing about this is, instantly looks like a truck. Well, not like a truck, obviously. Bob don't have one yet. Maybe someday. Have to finish the 4 trucks I'm building now. One at a time, Bob. Try and do one at a time. So, that's page 13, which is technically the first page of building, and that's what we've accomplished. There were some swear words. I have to tighten those back up now. There were some swear words, because I was an idiot and did things asked about face. Back to front even. Whatever you want to call it. But nevertheless, that's that done. Remember I said, always be sure to go back and make sure you've tightened the bolts that you left loose so that you can get certain parts in. And turning the page. Would it be wise to use conformal coating on light kit parts? Can't hurt, really. Plastic dip even. Instructions easy to follow. I think they are, personally. That's just me. I'll give you an example. Right. So this is to bolt on the inner fenders. This is one of the bolts. This is a line. The line goes through the hole in the inner fender, through the hole in the chassis. That's where it goes. That's essentially how crossbooks are laid out. So you go, okay, my next step is the front bumper, which is awesome, because we get to put the chrome on the truck. Now I've got to find what I do with the front bumper. Bear with me. I forgot how quick you need the front bumper. There it is, right. So the next step is the front bumper. And then we start doing the inner fenders. So this chassis is going to look like a chassis, like a complete chassis, real bloody quick, which is awesome. Right, that goes through the second one of there, and that uses these 106s. Now I have to tighten up my driver because my driver's gone a bit loose. To be fair, it's been used a lot. Right. Now, got to remember, when I did the other one, you got to have this sitting just pretty, otherwise you're just wasting your time. The tolerances with these builds, that you've got to have stuff just Mickey Mouse. What are you printing me last? Says Bob. You've got to have stuff sitting just right. Right, that'll go through there. That'll go in there if I can get it into the right position. I did the same thing when I put the other one together. I think I may have had some swear words with the other one. Right, so that started in there. Now, got to make sure that's sitting just right. Because if it's not, it won't do up. And you end up with it sitting all funny like. So I'll try starting the other side. I think this is what I did with the last one. Floor pans for the chassis. He is for the truck that he's designing and making all by himself. Last is one of those clever buggers. Right, that one's started. Now, I'm just going to make sure, as I'm doing this up, that it's sitting exactly where it's supposed to, because we're doing bolts up into plastic here, and I don't want to break anything, because I'll swear loudly. Not entirely sure I've got that correct. I don't think I have. I think I'm going to break something if I keep going. Tell you what, I'll let that sit there for a minute. The next step is the inner fender wells. I'm going to start these, and then I'm going to go back to the front bumper and see how everything sits with that afterwards. Come on, brains. That's got to go there, that's got to go there, if I'm correct. Yes. That one goes there. That one goes there. Right, so I'll put the inner fender wells on, and then I'll go back to my bumper and just make sure I've got everything adjusted right. Johnny says, you done yet? Yep, this is the second one. We've already started the second truck, Johnny. We're not messing about, mate. That's a lie. It's a terrible lie, because as per usual, when you build something on a live feed, just nothing works. Why am I doing this? I could be sitting here chilling with some music. No. That needs to go. Just there if I'm correct. I hope I'm correct. Well, I know it goes there. Come on, line up. Cooperate for me. Yes. Lovely. Right, next one. There's only so many times we're going to build stuff in live feeds, because it's frustrating, man. Just nothing ever seems to want to work how it should work. If that makes sense. I'm going to take that front bumper out, because I don't think it's sitting right and it's causing havoc. It's causing havoc. The chrome plating might be a smidge thick, which means I'll just have to X-acto blade a smidge off the outside edge of the bumper, which is fine. I'd rather it be like that than just flopping around in there like an idiot. Right. So, I'll put this one in. If I can line that up. Can I line that up? No. Yep. I'm annoying myself. So what's everyone doing anyway? Lars is printing. Ralph's gone to sleep. I'm that exciting to watch. Ralph's gone to sleep. Oh, I dropped it anyway. All that fancy maneuvers, and I dropped it anyway. Right, start that one. Now start the next one, which is one of the back ones. It's already starting to look like a truck, this thing. Right, in that goes. Lovely. And this one goes. The cool thing is, once this is in, I can bolt the motor and the motor mount and motor straight in this truck, which is awesome. I've got to get that bumper right. Alright, bolt that in. Lovely. Now, hopefully that won't affect this too much, but we'll test my luck. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's just a bit tight. Hopefully now that'll start and then I'll go in and I'll go, yay! Right. MCD's having your Maccas having a feed. Shout out to all the people with Maccas. Watching you fiddle with tiny screws might be lowering a little. Low away, my friend. If you can't low while you watch a live feed, it's not a very good live feed. That's your fault, Johnny, by the way. Right. The tolerances are very fine, people. Very fine. I think I got it. Yes, I did. Lovely. So it says put the bumper on first. Well, it doesn't say technically first. If you're building one of these trucks, put your inner fenders on first and then put your bumper on. Seems to work better. Tony Gutierrez says, use a drill. No, Tony, don't use a drill. Right, so this is going in, and the front bumper's on, which is wicked. Then I'm going to jump ahead 20 steps, and I'm just going to bolt the motor straight in so you can see how quick and easy it is. And yes, I can just bolt the motor in now. There's nothing I have to do before it. I can bolt the transfer case in now. This build so far has been identical to building the FR4. So I know what I'm doing and where. I know it doesn't look like I know what I'm doing. But I do, I promise. Right, so just for shits and giggles, This is our motor mount. Yeah, right? That's our motor mount. In here somewhere, that's our motor. Yoink. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to crack it open. I'm going to add some extra grease. 3 bolts. Take this outside cover off, add a bit of extra grease, put the cover back on, and then it's ready to go on the truck. Steve says, drill? No! Yeah, see, Tony? Told you. Bloody drills. Don't use drills while you're building kids, people. Still holding. They're pretty long little bolts, that. Alright, one more to go. Nearly stabbed myself because live feed. Everyone's lolling at Tony. Just remember, guys, if you'd like to give this a share, I'm sure there's other people out there that would like to laugh at my expense. Yeah? Right, so I'm just going to remove the cover. No, just the cover. Just the cover. Easy does it. I want to keep those gears sitting in there, where they're supposed to sit. Right. I'm going to grab some extra greasicles. I'm using a small hex driver bit here to apply the grease. If I can get some on the bloody thing. Stir it up a bit. Right, there we are, lovely, wicked. I'm not going to pack this with grease, just adding a bit extra. Push it around the gears a bit, just to make sure that when everything starts to move, everything sort of takes it in. Again, we don't need heaps. That should be wicked. Right, so that's that. Everything's sitting Mickey Mouse. Put the lid back on. The bolts on. In. English is my strong point today, isn't it? Right. Have I lined it up correctly? There we go. So put those 3 bolts back in, and then we can put our motor on the truck. I've just got to check the bolt size of, I'm pretty sure it's an 07. Come on, bolt. In you go. There we are. Right, don't over tighten these either. Taste the grease, taste the grease. We've had this discussion, Tony. For those of you out there, grease tastes terrible. I didn't taste it in the last feed. Now it sounds like I tasted grease in the last feed. I didn't taste it in the last feed, but grease is a terrible taste. And you taste it all day if you taste it. Okay? Right, so we're not over tightening these. If you do, you're going to snap the bolt and then it's your fault. Just nip them up so they're firm, like so. Right, now I'm going to grab 2 of, they're not in that bag, are they? Of course they're not. Are they in that bag? No. Are they in that bag? Possibly. Let me double, triple, mega ultra check. I think it's a slightly longer one, but it may not be. This is how far ahead I'm skipping by putting the motor in now, and this is just for everyone's benefit out there that wants to see the motor go in. 8. That's not 1 eye, that's too long. I reckon. Yeah, that's way too long. Well, they might be in another bag then. Oh, hang on. That one. And was it that one? Yep. Right, so after all that faffing about, I'm going to bolt my motor to the motor piece, and then I'm going to bolt the motor with its piece to the truck. And then you're going to see just how easy it is to put the motor in this truck. And then technically it's like it's an RC car then. Yeah? Or is it not an RC car until it's got a receiver in it? Thoughts in the comments? Is it an RC car before it has a receiver? And I need, not that one, it's that one. And I need, where are you? That one. That one. And that one. Magnetic bowl, it's just here, Tony. I've got two of them here. Just waiting for you to say, where's your magnetic bowl? And that can start instantly. Yes, it has. Wicked. And then I'm going to put the rear fenders on. And then it's going to look heaps like a truck. So, obviously you can tell with this build, the part that's going to take the longest is the body. As Tony said, a roller. Yes, but would you class it as an RC car though? That's the question. Is it still an RC car or is it just a thing? Yes, it's still an RC car because it's set up for an RC. That's Lars's opinion. Any advances on Lars's opinion? Right, one more bolt and then we've got our motor in. Why not the suspension before? Doesn't matter, Tony, really. You have to have the front fender wells in this thing to bolt your suspension to anyway. Look at that, it's got a motor. It's an RC truck, it is. Right, now, inner fender wells for the rear. Now, I'll find my other one. And then, stuff and such and things. Boink. Battery tray, don't need that yet. Tell you what else, bolt that on too in a second. So I know where it goes, I know what needs to be done to it. Right, so, that's got a horrible dag on it. Always get rid of that crap before you put your truck together. Otherwise, your truck's going to look shite. And if you ever sell your truck, people will look at those and go, oh, this guy didn't care enough to cut those off when he built the truck. So how much did he care for the truck when he was driving it? It's just something to think about. Suggest if you're going to use an X-Acto blade, you be careful with it. Right, so now I've got to put my rear inner fenders on, which should just go like yay, and I believe they are 106s. Where's the page for the rear fender? Yes, they are 106s. Most of the bolts in this truck are double one 106s. For those of you playing at home, which is handy. It's just one of those things that makes it easier again to build your truck. You don't stress because you're looking at 50,000 different bolt sizes. Safety first. You've got to be safe, especially when you're using an X-Acto blade. Right, and that bolt goes in. I believe they're 3 bolts a piece. Yes. You'd swear I built one of these before. I mean, I'm glad the chassis goes together really easy too, because obviously it's the same chassis as what's on the other truck. So it's nice that I can smash out the chassis and then just enjoy really scaling out the body and trying to get that perfect, because that's not going to be a rusty thing or anything like that. It's going to be a pretty classy truck that's just as scale as I can make it. That's what we're going for. The fenders look nice. They're pretty nice, Tony. They're pretty nice. Won't lie to you. Right, yoink. 2 of these. And then we've already smashed out a heap of pages and we've basically got a bloody truck sitting here. Is that starting? Am I not holding it right? There we go. Now it is. Right, now the build's actually starting to move forwards. Hasn't taken very long, has it? How long has it taken? Has it taken forever or what? You lose track of time when you're doing live feeds like this. That's going to be popped over that. Did I not? I didn't do that. Loosen. 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 There's a bolt here. I've got to pop this over the bolt. There we are. If you don't pop it over the bolt, it won't sit against the chassis. And it will look shite, mate. It will look lots shite. You know? Tighten that one. The other one, yes, is popped over the bolt. So that's where we're at so far. How long has that taken? I can't remember what time the feed started. Rex has joined us. Thanks for joining, Rex. Need an LS engine cover. Don't think so, Tony. Anyway, so that's where we're at. What I'm going to do now, because I know what I've got to do with it, I'm going to undo my transfer case. I'm going to add some grease. Then I'm going to install my transfer case. Alright, so 3 bolts. When you're undoing bolts like this from parts that come from the factory, don't just crank hard on it. If you do, you're likely to break something. Take it easy. I can feel this has already got Loctite on it. The last one had Loctite on it as well. Easy does it. Right, so out that one comes. Out this one comes. Tony, question everyone. Solder connection or plug for motor? If you'd like my opinion on the matter, Tony, plug's fine. A truck like this, technically speaking, a truck like any crawler, which is known for being a slow vehicle, doesn't need to have a motor that's pumping through massive amounts of juice. It just doesn't. I'm sure there's plenty of people that want them to have massive amounts of juice, and if that's the case, then direct solder your wires. But if you're just going to be crawling your truck or trailing it, a plug's fine. Steve's off. Thanks for joining us, Steve. Much appreciated, mate. Very much appreciated. Right. Don't lose that. Swear words would have been said. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that whole shaft out, including that bearing. Take that shaft out. Lovely. Come out bearing. Thank you. Right, now I'm going to put a bit of grease. I'm going to put a little bit of grease just in the casing here, right? This is just for the bearings. The bearings to sit nicely and be happy. Right, just a little bit of grease in there. You can't really see it much, but just putting a smidge in here, just a little bit. And I'm going to put my bearing back in. Actually, I'll be smart about this. Put my bearing back in with the shaft. And I'll do the same with this side. Cooperate. Alright. I'm going to put those in. Lift this one up a smidge. Oh, I've dropped it in there. Not good. A little bit of grease in here. Again, you don't need heaps. This is a pretty confined little area. Alright, put some grease around. I'll put that shaft back in now. Can't believe I dropped that in there. How annoying. Put that back in. Put the top back on. Wipe off any excess greases. Johnny, you should play a minute work in the background. Whatever floats your boat, don't you? Wes has joined us. Thanks for joining, Wes. Tony's telling us his dead little secrets. Lovely. That's perfect. That is perfect. Now, if I can do it without dropping all the bolts, put those back in. Don't forget, touch of Loctite, just a smidge. You don't need heaps. I honestly think, Tony, all jokes aside, I think it'd be really annoying to have music playing in the background. I watched a few live feeds and, you know, people building stuff and they've just got music smashing away in the background and they're swearing and cursing every 2 minutes. Like, I might say shit every now and then, but that's about as bad as it gets. It's just, I don't know. It's not me. I couldn't do it. I think I'm a little bit more professional than that. Right. Everyone will be surprised next week. What have you done, Tony? What have you done? Right, this bolt's going in. Then I can put my transfer case in the truck. Then, technically, I can hook up the drive shaft that goes from the transfer, from the motor to the transfer. Wipe all the grease off it, because apparently I'm an idiot and I get grease everywhere. If you get grease on your parts, do try and wipe it off. Because otherwise, when you take your truck out, you're just going to have crap everywhere. There, dropped it. Right, now I know I need to open this bag of bolts because it's got the bolts for the transfer. Ask Robert Friday. Well, that can only mean one thing, Tony. Does anyone know what Tony's done? Right, I'm just going to bolt my transfer case straight in because why not? Like I said, I know where it goes. I know that I can bolt it in now and it's not going to change anything. I'm not going to have to take it out later and redo anything. Spray brake cleaner. Or just don't get it dirty in the first place. Or just wipe it off. That's all you need to do. Just that way, when you take your truck out, you're not going to have heaps of bloody dirt and grease get all stuck up on your truck everywhere because you left grease there. Is Robert Mazza still here? If he is, Robert, what did Tony buy? Oh, Bob, do up. Excess grease cleaner. Tony got a truck. Question is, what truck did he get? Right, so anyone that joined late, do you want to see the FR4C, the truck that's down nearly finished? Right, so far this is what we've done today, and we built a wheel. Look, it's basically a truck already. So we've got our chassis rails built, we've got our rock sliders on, the inner fender wells front and rear, we've got our motor installed, the gearbox transfer cases in, rear fender wells. That's an RC truck already. I need a drink. What are you going to order, Tony? Tony's going to order himself a truck. What is the time? Been going for about an hour and a half. Not too far off calling it a day. What do you think of that, though? I know I faffed about a bit to start with, and it's because of live feed. But does that look easy enough to build? That's what we've done so far in the live feed. That chrome. What's next? Let me see. If it's shock absorbers, I'm not doing them. I will say, these shocks are pretty easy to build. Kit cross. Oh, duh, Tony. We know it's going to be a cross truck. Anyone know where to get scale V8 engines? Yeah, dude called Lars. Scroll up. Also, guy called bloody Dion, Mr. Comedy. He does some pretty wicked scale engines too. So we've got guys here that can get you scale engines, mate. Did you have anything in particular in mind that you're after? So yeah, Steve, scroll up. Lars knows how to do it all. I'm going to start the bloody shocks. I'll build one. I'll be like a spoilt brat. There's a lot of rings and crap for these, right? A lot. And I'm going to use the cross shock oil. I used this in that truck, and I reckon that is about the equivalent to normal 30 weight oil. It feels pretty good. So I'm going to use this. Right. If I remember correctly, what do I need? 3 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those, 1 of those. Right. I don't want to get all of these pieces out. Actually, I might as well, because I've got to build them all later anyway. I hate building shocks. I hate it. You don't want an LS motor, Tony. You'll be forever bloody fixing your crawler. Lol. Right. Set that there. I'm only going to need 1 spring for now, because I'm just going to build 1 shock, and then we'll probably call the live feed a day. Because we've achieved a lot. We've done well. If there's any questions you've got, now's the time to either think of them or ask them. If there's anything that you want to see, now's the time to ask. Because we're not too far from calling it quits for today. I'm just going to build 1 shocker megazorba. Sweet Johnny, thanks. I've seen them but had trouble finding them. Yeah, we got you sorted, mate. We've got blokes in this group with the skills to pay the bills. Right, so going to be 1 shocking mic absorber. I can never finish getting all the bloody parts out. This is why I hate building shocks. There's too many different parts. Right, we're going to need 1 of those. We'll need 1 of those. I'll need 1 of those. I'll need 1 of those. That can sit aside. I will need 1 of those. And 1 of those. Chamber, top, adjuster, bottom, retainer, shaft. Yep. I think that's everything. Yep. I hate building shocks. Right, I can sit in there. I can sit in there. I can sit in there so I don't lose anything. Right. Step 1. Grab yourself a circlip and hold it onto the shaft of the shock absorber. Not easy when you've just had grease all over your fingers. Step 2. Grab some small nosed pliers and pinch said circlip until it clips onto the shaft like so. Step 3. I'm going to do this for the entire shock construction, so if you don't like it, leave now. Step 3. Place on the plunger on the shock shaft. Step 4. Grab another circlip and slide it on top of the plunger, as it were. Come on, don't drop it either. That's when swear words happen. Right. Step 5, I think we're up to. We're up to step 5. Squeeze down on said circlip until it clips onto the shock shaft. Come on. Thank you. Right, that's our first step done. Then we're going to slide, right, the shock shaft through the bloody shock absorber thingy itself, right? We're going to put on, no, not that piece. I've got to remember, got to get this correct. It's a small piece here. Right, so step 7, step 8, I believe there's 2 step 8s, it's the same step. Step 8. And then it's step 9. And then it's, before you put all this in there, grab a little dollop of shock oil. Little dollop of shock oil, just put on the rubbers. Just in there, that will help everything move. Give it a bit of a shake and a twist. Lovely, right. Now step 10, screw that piece on. That'll hold everything in. Step 11, put that on there. Oh, I need a rod end. I'll do that in a minute. So you can probably tell I build a lot of these sorts of things. It's just, you just go through the motions. Come on, rubber seal. Be careful when you're putting rubber seals on your truck anywhere. You do not want to break them. Especially these little finer ones. I hate these. Right, there we are. Lovely. Like that. Those little, see that little orange ring around there? Horrible things. Right, don't fill this to the top. Half fill it. About yay. Run the plunger up and down a few times. make sure everything is sufficiently lubricated. Get the air bubbles out, or as many as you can. You don't have to stress too much about it, especially when you're running half to 3/4. I'm going to go just over half to 3/4 with this. I'm going to put in some more shock oil, not too much. I want it so that when I push the plunger all the way up, the oil comes to the bottom of the thread. Perfect. Right, then I'm going to put the top on. When you put the top on, don't just go cranking it crazy hard. Turn slowly. Make sure that you're not pinching that seal anywhere, which that is slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dollop of oil on, just so that it'll slide in properly. Lovely. Right. Now, for the crabby bit, I hate this bit. You've got to grab yourself one of these bad boys. So we've nearly finished it. Just I'm ready for lunch. One of these irritations, the rod end, for those of you playing at home. I'm going to grab a rag. I'm going to grab some pliers. Put the rag in between my pliers. And we're going to grab the shock shaft. Cooperate. We're going to grab the shock shaft and we're going to squeeze the crap out of it. The reason we're using a rag is so that we don't actually damage the shock shaft, because if we damage the shock shaft, it's not going to work properly. Come on, actually I'll do my little trick with my knife. Open it up just a smidge so it'll start quick and easy for us. Bob says exclusive RC does scale motors. Yes, they do. Come on, start. I hate doing this. Let's start. Let's start it, everyone. Right, wind this on. Where's? Grab this. Cheat. Turn this around. Oh, everything's moving. Everything was moving. This is why I hate doing it. You gotta squeeze the absolute crap out of it. You need a little square rag. It's not like I'm building shocks every day, though. I mean, you'd probably think I was, but I'm not. Right, then we're going to put my spring on, wherever my spring is. Spring on, spring retainer on. If I can hold it the right way. There we go. Lovely. There we go. One shock built. I hate building shocks. Lovely. That's actually got a pretty nice tension to it. The yellow springs, I would say, that come with the FR4 are a bit softer than these, which is fine, legs and body. This is for a hard body, so that's pretty good, I think. Right, so that's how quick it is to build one of the shock absorbers. Did I swear? I can't remember. So, recap. Let me just put the lid on my oil. Wipe the crap off my bumper, because I don't like these bumpers being dirty because they're too pretty. When you buy a cross truck and you got this chrome, you'll know exactly what I mean. I mean, look at it. So this is what we've achieved today. We've built pretty much the entire chassis. Where's the body? We built pretty much the entire chassis. We've got our motor in there. We've got our transfer case in there. I can now put a shaft straight from the motor to the transfer. I've built one shock. Once I build the other four, I can bolt those, and I've got to make up the links. Links are boring. No one wants to watch someone build links. So I've got to build all the links, put all the steering setup, servo, all that sort of fun stuff onto the truck, and then you sort of bolt. You bolt all the suspension to the axles, and then you bolt all the axles with the suspension to the truck, and it just goes together really quite easily. I just want to sit this body on the chassis, because how many people out there do what I'm doing right now? You're building a truck, and 50 times while you build the truck, you will do this, and you will sit the body on there just because you want to see how it's going to look. Poke those motor wires down under there, because that wrecks the illusion. Ta-da! This is going to be one badass truck. I love the look of this thing. What do you think of that? Oh, Johnny, you haven't seen the Lexan one. All right, look. So this is where we are today, right? Put the body aside. That's underneath our chassis. So we've got the inner fenders. 2 seconds, Jono, and I'll show you how the other ones look in the FR4. So that's how that's all set up. All right, always in a preview, dude. I do it all the time. Like, you'll build so much of the truck, set the body on it. You build a little bit more, set the body on it. Paint a little bit, set the body on it. It's just ridiculous. Ugh. Check that out. So this is the FR4C. Now, these trucks, for the C version, which is the top of the range flagship version. Flagship comes with the fancy axles, the fancy gearbox, the fancy transfer, the fancy CNC wheels, everything, right? $450 US with this. Comes with the light kit and all that sort of fancy stuff as well. The SU4C is $550. So you've got to weigh up. Okay, have I A, got the skill set to build a hard body truck inside and out? The chassis is easy. Your 5-year-old kid could build a chassis. It's that easy. Probably not 5-year-old, but you get what I'm saying. The big difference is the prep in the prep work and paint and detail in the hard body compared to the Lexan body. Now, I went out yesterday and I bought paint, and I came home and it took me 10 minutes to mask it and to tidy up edges and stuff on the guards and such. And then I went out and I painted it, and probably took an hour and a half, but you know, you paint a bit dry, paint a bit dry. The paint I used didn't cover very well, so I had to do like a crap ton of coats just to get a nice full thick colour. Anywho, enough of me whinging. The big difference is the body. So if you don't want to do the time and you want to save 100 US, get this. Because what's underneath is basically the same. Alright? That there is a wicked bit of kit. Now, in the the SU4C version, this is going to get confusing, the battery doesn't sit here. It sits down towards the back. You can see there's a little notching thingy just there, a little tab, and there's one, it's hard for you to see it, there's one just on the other side. The whole battery tray moves down. So the battery in that truck is the same size that's in this. You get full-size LiPo in the SU4C, which I don't mind telling you is pretty bipping epic for a full hard body scale truck with a full interior. Put the light kit in the truck last night. So we've got boards in the front headlights. We've got boards in the rear lights. This is the only wire that comes down off the body. And then there's one wire you can't see. One wire that goes from the bumper to the back of one of these headlights. So it's simple and effective. Steve, like that colour, dude. The whole idea with this colour was it has to work with black and it has to work with chrome. So if you're looking for a colour that works with black and works with chrome, Cobalt Green by Tamiya. It was just works. Generally what I'll do before I build a truck, or before I paint a truck, Tim Gregory's joined us. Thanks for joining, Tim. Tim's a local, Adelaidean, Australian. What I'll do before I even decide the colour is go to the paint shop and I'll stand in front of the rack and I'll look at pictures of the truck until a colour hits me. I already had a pretty good idea on this one what I was doing before I went there, so that was handy. But that's generally what I'll do. So if you're stumped for a colour to paint your truck, go to the hobby shop with a picture of your truck on your phone and just stand in front of the rack and start looking at colours. If you want a two-tone, okay, this colour works with that colour. Will that suit the build I'm doing? I contemplated the idea of doing a similar sort of paint job that the Aeromax has got with my Tamiya semi-truck. I was going to do a deep red with a warm creamy colour. I could have called it strawberry shortcake, but I didn't. All right, so that's probably going to do for today. I think we've done a fair bit. I think we've achieved some good stuff. Do me a favour, give it a share. Shares are where it's at. We need lots of shares. We need lots of views so I can achieve the things I want to achieve. I may even at some stage do here, you're going to get some decals because you've done lots of shares. Incentive. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm not going to say today's because people expect them every day. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of the BCRC live feed. And I'm not sure when the next one is, but hopefully we'll see you on it. Take care and have fun with RCs.